Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Mary Preenun. I'm the Director of Communications for the Hudson Gateway Association of Realtors, and I'd like to welcome you once again to another Breakfast with Benefits. And today we have Dave Steinberg. He is from Summit Financial, and Dave is going to talk to us about the hot topic of today, which is AI, artificial intelligence in real estate, and how it can help all of you with your listings and descriptions and social media and anything that you need. So Dave, thank you very much for coming again. This is the second time here, and we welcome you back. And the floor is yours. Thank you.
Hi guys. So really excited to do this. I've been doing this now for about 6 months. This is my second time here at HEAR. Been doing it with Bergen County in New Jersey, with North Central Jersey, and some other groups, and I'm really enjoying this. So I like interaction, so I'm going to pick on you guys. I'm going to start with Cheryl. The rumor is that you have an active listing, Cheryl. Hello. You're muted. Okay. If you have an active listing,
I'm unmuted. Sorry about that.
Okay. If you have an active listing, you have the ability to drop it into the chat, the property description into the chat. I'd love it because we'll pick it up and we'll use it later.
Okay, I'll attempt to do that.
Okay. So let's start with a simple observation. I am not going to share my slides because I think that people get so caught up in reading the slides that they don't have time to listen to the presentation. I may be right, I may be wrong, but I'm presenting, so that's what we're going to do. The other thing is, I know that good presentation says don't ask questions. Throw that out the window. You have a question, throw it out there. I'll do my best to share, and I'll do my best to give you the best answer I have. Let me start with a disclaimer. I am not an AI expert. What I am is a mortgage broker. Probably, and I think I'm a great mortgage broker. I've been doing this for 35 years. My assistant here in the room with me has been with me for 30 years. So we're a seasoned team and we get it done. And later in the presentation, if you want, you can ask me whether you can beat a cash offer with a mortgage when the cash offer and the mortgage were competitive. We beat a cash offer. I'll tell you that story later if we have time. So the title of this presentation is, are you ready for AI? And here's my premise. My premise is that it's like going back to when people had the paper printouts of all the listings. If you had to compete with a paper listing or what we've got today, what chance would somebody have if they were working off paper printouts? Just doesn't exist. So the question you want to keep in your head as you think about AI is, are you willing to get an unfair advantage? Is it fair? So, Virginia, is it fair for you to have an unfair advantage over people who won't use AI?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it really is, right? Because it's not like you're doing something illegal, immoral, or unethical. You're just using the best tools out there. No one's going back out there using slide rules instead of computers. Nobody's doing no one's doing this stuff, in the way we did 30 years ago. Everyone's trying to use the tools at hand and use the best possible way. And to some extent, real estate agents with technology, who familiarize themselves with technology, who open themselves up with technology. Real estate agents with technology are going to wipe the floor against real estate agents who don't have technology. Does that make sense? Okay. So who can I pick on next? Sandra Smith. Are you currently using AI?
I am currently involved in taking a class on using AI, and I went
Okay.
to the board meeting, 2 Mondays ago, and listened to the gentleman talking about AI. So I would love to learn more and use
Okay.
it.
How about you, Margot? Are you using AI?
I am not currently using it, but like Sandra, I am trying to take courses and learn more about it so I can use it by hopefully by 2024.
Okay. You want the dirty little secret, guys? You're all using AI. You're all using AI. You want me to prove it to you? Anyone do a Google search recently?
Sure.
Yeah,
What's a Google search? Isn't it using AI to do a search? You've got one of these phones. I don't know. This is the latest technology, right? Not everyone has one of these. But if you push the button and you say, "Hi Siri, call Sally," what does it do? It calls Sally. Guess what? That's AI. Like it or not, you're all using AI. And you're all using AI in your business. You just are not using the latest, best, blah, blah, blah. So that's what we're going to talk about today. How to use AI in your business in a way that gives you a good platform to operate from. And so let's start, before we dive in, let's start with the caveats. So the first caveat is, I would not put Mary's information, if Mary were my client, I wouldn't put Mary's information into a generally available model. Why? Because anything you put into AI gloms. What does that mean? It means that AI AI is going to take ownership over anything you put into it. If you put something into ChatGPT, that becomes part of ChatGPT's knowledge base.
So you're making you're making the argument that it's breaking our fiduciary by disclosing confidential information if we put it into the AI.
You may or may not be breaking a fiduciary, depending on what kind of information you're putting in. But it's definitely, I mean, information is your stock and trade. So anything you put in that is yours, whether it be somebody's personal information. Look, I'm a mortgage guy. Is it William? Is it Bill?
Whichever. It's all good.
Okay, Bill, if I put your social security number into I was doing something and I had your social security number, how would you feel about that?
Yeah, no, I understand the argument. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a good argument to tread cautiously on what you put into the because it's going into the data set.
It's going into the data set. And like what we always tell our clients is, I never would put anything into an email that I wouldn't put into a billboard on Times Square. So I'd use the same rule for AI. I wouldn't put any information into AI that I wouldn't put into a billboard in Times Square. Now, there are proprietary AI systems, and we'll see more and more of it in the next year or two. But for starters, I wouldn't put anything into an AI system that I didn't expect to share with the world. The ownership on the product of AI can get a little bit dicey. Just be careful about that. Some of that stuff is going to be litigated over the next couple of years. And finally, Gina, you look like a nice lady. Gina, would you bet your business on the accuracy of what you get out of AI?
No.
No. So,
I-
let me share with you. Let's see if I can share my screen on this. And screen 2 and share. So here's somebody called the ChatGPT lawyer. You guys probably all heard about it, or may have heard about it, or may not have heard about it. But here's a guy who was writing a brief for court, and he went into AI and he used it for his citations, and they were all fictitious. So he was he had his fanny kicked, is a polite way of putting it. He really was just, ridiculed by the court. His reputation was scorched. Anything you use within the course of AI, you got to double check it, and then you got to check it again. Don't make an assertion to your client based on something you've learned from AI unless you verify it. And here's a guy who didn't verify it, and boy, I'm telling you, his reputation is gone. His reputation is gone. So before we do a dive into specific things we're going to talk about, let's come up with a framework. Who didn't I call before? Jaime, is that the way I pronounce your name? Jeimmy?
Jamie.
Jamie. Okay, Jamie. Do you own a business?
Plumbing business.
Huh?
Yes.
You own a business. Okay. How many divisions do you think your business has?
No idea.
Okay. Are you a realtor?
Yes.
So, as a model for the way to think about your business, think about it this way. You have a business, and your business has 3 divisions. Okay, makes sense? Division number 1 is before. If you're an average realtor, you can't do business unless you have clients coming to you. And so the first division of your business is your before division. And that's a division where you try to attract clients to your business. Make sense so far? Second division is your during division. How do you serve your clients? That's your during division. Whatever you do during the transaction is your during division. And number 3, you've all probably seen this statistic. It keeps on coming back again and again, that 85% of clients can't find their realtor 3 days after closing. They don't know how to get in touch with them or whatever. If you don't have an after division, if you don't have a way of actively reaching out to your clients and communicating with your clients, you're lost, right? Does that make sense? Because if you don't communicate with your clients, it's just, it's history. It's absolute history. And so it's absolutely incredible, as it's absolutely imperative as you serve your clients that you keep track of all of those people, and you keep track of all of those people. So you have a before division, a during division, and after division. And what we're going to talk about is how you can integrate AI tools into each of those divisions. Okay? Let's start with a understanding that the way you use your AI could be a force multiplier. You know, for those of us who are a little bit older, you may remember that once upon a time there were secretaries who sat there at desks and used regular typewriters to type things, and that's all history. Well, using AI today, I'm not even talking about what's coming down the road, you can replace a whole array of people with the things you get out of AI. So think about AI as a toolbox. And what I mean by a toolbox is you have the ability to using the AI toolbox to take a specific tool and address a specific need. Remember, we talked about before, during, and after. So we're going to start with some of the common tools. And the common tools are ChatGPT. You've all heard about ChatGPT. A second tool that's well known is Bard. So ChatGPT is the elephant in the room. They're the biggest player right now in that business. The second biggest player is Bard. Bard is the tool used by Google, and the third biggest player is probably Claude, though these things come and go. Bing now has integrated AI. So what I want to do for starters is put up a question on the screen. And let me go back to the videotape and show you how we're going to tackle the next part of this. And there should be a way for me to share my screen again. Share screen. There you go. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I want to ask AI a question. I'm a realtor. Please give me specific marketing advice about how to attract seniors who may consider selling their home. This says Bergen County. I actually used Hartsdale for this presentation, you know, given that we're talking about Westchester. So and now so I put this in, and I don't know if you can see my screen well, but in the beginning, the first word I put in there is perfect. Can you guys see that? So perfect is a plugin. Let's start
zoom in a little would be better.
Let's start with ChatGPT, and let's talk about ChatGPT first. ChatGPT is, as I said, the gorilla in the room. And ChatGPT is pretty damn smart. How smart is it? Well, there's ChatGPT, and then there's ChatGPT 4. The first time they ran ChatGPT about a year ago, it got about the 10th percentile on the bar exam. When ChatGPT came out 6 months ago, it got about a 90th percentile. That's how fast it's getting faster. And the models are improving, and they're improving over and over again. So all of these models are incredibly important, are incredibly smart. For our purposes, if I'm going to put up a sample question, give me specific marketing advice. ChatGPT will give you, now I'm using ChatGPT 4. You pay $20 a month for ChatGPT 4. You could do this. Let's see if I can, just for fun, I'm going to do this again. And I'm just going to go into straight ChatGPT. Let me see if I can open up a browser. Just give me a minute. I'm going to open up a browser from scratch. So this is just oh, it's going to be too complicated. Sorry about that. But you can take the thing, if you're not subscribed, ChatGPT is very powerful. It's not as powerful as ChatGPT 4, but it is very powerful. So I said, I'm a realtor. Give me specific marketing advice about how to attract seniors who may consider selling their home in Hartsdale, New York, right? And it came up with a list of 12 steps. Understand your audience, utilize direct mail, host informative workshops, develop an online presence, community involvement, yada, yada, yada. It's given you a whole program. And so even if you don't take this verbatim, isn't this a great place to start? Isn't this a great place to start? You may have a specific thing. You could take this, and by the way, I used Claude for the next version of it. And now Claude said, well, how about if you host an educational seminar titled Downsizing Made Simple at a local senior center or library? I like Claude. If you guys haven't been using AI, it's a very friendly, easy to use system. It's Claude.ai. And I like the answers it gives because it's friendly, it's specific. Create a direct marketing postcard campaign, partner with a local moving company, write a column in a local newspaper. They're all giving you the same answers, but you're going to find some answers that appeal to you more, and some answers you may find are less appealing to you. Doesn't make one better or worse, but it's just worth understanding that that there are different tools out there. And now, again, this is the same question for Bard. And again, it's giving you some of the same answers. Seniors age 65, residents of Hartsdale, homeowners are considering downsizing, and then it gives you a list of messages. So if you're stymied and you're looking for a way to reach out to new clients, anyone here need more clients right now? So Bill, I'm going to pick on you. You're still in the front of my nose. So what's the ideal client that you'd be looking for?
So my ideal client is a couple that's in 30s to 40s, has retirement savings, is integrated into a community, and has one of the major life events that prompts them to need to buy a house, such as looking to have a kid, just had a kid, just got a promotion, blah, 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 blah.
Okay. So, and what do we want to communicate with them? What do you want to do? What do you want these people? So you're assuming that these people are going to buy, or you're trying to attract new buyers?
So if you're talking, if you're talking about like using it for prospecting, yes, you know, kind of in this argument, let's, it could be buyers or buyer sellers, you know, just to refine it, you know, a better ideal client for would be someone who currently owns a home and is having one of these life things. It
I'm
could
going
be
to
a
go
co-op
into
condo or single family
ChatGPT.
home.
I'm going to go into ChatGPT. And what's your town?
New Rochelle.
Oh, my kid lives in New Rochelle.
Does he need to buy a house?
He just did. Sorry about that. 2 years too late.
No. That's
How
2
can
years
I
right on
attract
time.
a move up buyer? Let me start this again. So I'll get back to this in a minute, but it always makes sense to start with I am a realtor, right? If you're if you want an answer that's geared toward realtors, tell them what you want. So I'm a realtor. How can I attract a move up buyer who just had a child? That was one of your events, right?
Correct.
And now it's going to spin around and it's going to give us some market family friendly homes, create lifestyle content, use social media. Now, do you post on? Don't go away. Get the speaker back on.
I'm there. My
Okay.
chair's very squeaky.
Okay. So, what's your preferred? Excuse me for a minute. Renee, can you take this from me? I don't know what this is. What's your preferred social media?
The telephone.
Okay, so you're not a social media guy?
I have presence, but I don't have an effective social media presence. I have presence on Facebook.
Okay. So so
I could certainly benefit
okay,
from
you
improving
have
that.
so okay. Um Please write a script for me to use when cross Please write a script for me to use when prospecting people who recently had a child. Now, you probably have made 1,000 calls over the years to people who had a child, and you may have a script, right? But what's cool about using AI for this is it'll give you a script. And so that's what ChatGPT is doing right now. Do you have a quirky sense of humor? Are you straight? What's your communication style?
I'm super direct, and I do have a sense of humor.
So I'm going to say, please introduce a bit of humor. And it's going to refine the same, it's going to take the same script and now it's going to make it a little bit more humorous, make it a little bit more human. So rather than do this and beat it to death, let's start talking about the different tools and how you can use them. The tool is a prompt, ChatGPT in particular, but this is true of all of them. By the way, ChatGPT is getting to the point that you can now talk to it. So if you have a mic, you can talk to ChatGPT. That came out 2 weeks ago. I haven't changed my presentation yet because I haven't played with it myself. We were on vacation last week. But ChatGPT can help you take your idea and refine it. And the first thing I want you to know about all of these tools is that they're iterative. So Bill isn't a social media guy. Anyone here so big on social media? Sandra, you're not even muted. Great. Sandra, what's your social media of choice?
I do a lot of Facebook, but I think
Okay.
that the people that see me are just limited to my friends. So I'm worried that it's not extending more.
Okay. Let's come back to that in a minute, but let's first do this. Let's play with Bill's clients so we don't start from scratch. But if you wanted to attract the same clients as Bill, and since Bill doesn't do Facebook, you could do the Facebook, right? So you could go back into ChatGPT. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, please write a Facebook post focusing on my services. And what it's going to do is it's going to turn around. It's going to do it all. I don't know what just happened there. And so what we just did was we just took one of those things, and you know, your point about wondering who's going to see it. Well, if you want people to see more stuff, you have to give them more information, and so that you become a hub. Let me introduce another tool, and this tool is called Designrr. So it's DESIGNRR.io. And I'm going to log in. There's a freemium. There's all of this stuff has the free and it has the paid. So Sandra, if you wanted to attract the same buyers that Bill did, could you write a book to attract those buyers?
No,
Why not?
because I'm not a book writer.
Hold on a minute. I'm right back. Neither am I. So my friend Ginger Bell put together this great tool, right? And it's New Home Adventure. And so what I do when I go to your open houses, I bring a dozen of these books and we give them to families. You know, Bill, this is perfect for your clients. We give them the New Home Adventure. I love going to open houses, by the way. I'm a Sabbath observer, so you won't get me on Saturday, but I did an open house on Sunday. I'm open. Any of you need a company at open house, it would be my pleasure and privilege to join you. So this is Ginger's book. I just give it out at open houses. Step 2, we took the book and we said, well, this is an activity book for children, but if there's children who are going to use the book, let's attract the parents. And so what we did was we generated an ebook. And by the way, the ebook is available to you to be co-branded. You just reach out to me after the class. But we can co-brand the ebook so that the ebook is a parent's guide to moving with children. Then what we did was we said, well, that's pretty cool, but now let's turn it into an Amazon book. This is the first copy, recognize the face. We just used AI to generate a book. It's up on Amazon. And for 3 minutes, I was in the bestseller category under, real estate. But that's fine. For 3 minutes, I've got a bestseller. It took a little bit of time to do, but I can now give that book to your client. And that what that does is it creates authority. So we're going to keep on going here, but I want to show you in this book, in this tool called Designrr. Sandra, Bill, if we're writing a book, we're going to use Word Genie to write the book. It's a very simple book. What's our title going to be? Guide to
The best guide to selling your, the best guide to buying your second home.
No, I think a second home as a vacation home. What do you mean?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. That would need to be refined.
So let's call it a step-up home.
Okay.
And we can actually sit here. I'm not going to do this because this will take the next 10 minutes of it. But well, the theme here is real estate. I don't know if real estate is a category. Real estate is a category. Guide to buying a step home for growing families. How's that? Is that a and you could put, this is focused on parents. And I'll come back to this. So let's see. The ultimate guide to upgrading your home for growing families. And I'm going to let this cook on the side, because if I don't, it's going to consume us. And now it's starting to give you the chapters. And if we go through this, and I'm gonna move away from this, but if we go through this, this is actually going to generate a book. We'll come back to it in a little bit. But the point is, it's so easy to write a book, but forget writing a book. If your plan was to write 10 Facebook posts, to where each post was going to attract a different subcategory of people, that's a way, Sandra, of getting people's eyeballs, because you could use ChatGPT to come up with a subject. So, Sandra, what's your favorite clients?
I live in a community, and I look for folks who want to move into that community or have lived here for a while and are looking to buy a second home somewhere else.
Okay. So, if you can identify what posts you want to do, I want to get off this because we've been spending a lot of time on the before unit, but you could use ChatGPT to come up with a series of posts,
That's what I like.
Okay, so let's do that, and then we'll switch gears. So we'll go back into ChatGPT. Okay, I'm going to share my screen again, and so let's say propose a series of Facebook posts to discuss the challenges of buying a second home. And now it's going to give us a whole list of going to give us a whole list of so now it's generating and it's going to generate probably 5, 6, 7, 10 different posts, right? So now you can go in there and you can say, okay, managing a second property, it's giving you right, it's up to 7. I don't know where it's going to stop, right? This is 7 things. So once a week for 7 weeks, you could do a post about the challenges of buying a second home.
Perfect.
Right? And then you post it on Facebook. And guess what? People think you're smart. Does that make sense?
That's good for them to think that. They might
Now,
be.
so so in terms of using this, you want to whatever you want to do, but you can say, okay, so now let's understand how to use chat a little bit better. Okay, so you are my social media expert. Write a post about the emotional investment and we're going to say we're going to write a Facebook post. Okay. And so now what's going to do is it's going to generate a Facebook post. Here's a Facebook post. Now, you're all aware that there's a difference between, let's say, Facebook and LinkedIn. And so you could then go back and say, make it funnier, make it, write it to somebody with an IQ of 75, right? You never lose by underestimating your audience. You can go back in and hone the commands so that you get better and better results for what you want to do. So we just generated a list of 7 topics. I don't know why it's not generating. Here goes. Here's a topic. Now, I could say, make it funnier, make it funny. And ChatGPT will take that same post and make it funny. Right? So when you are doing a post like this, you want to think about rewrite for stuff. So you could now say, once it finishes this, anybody do much TikTok or Insta? So you could take this command, right, and say, okay, I like this one. This is great for Facebook. But now what I want to do is rewrite it for a Insta video. And now it's going to give you an Insta video script, right? So that's, you can tell it to put in the hashtags, you can tell it to do whatever you want to do. I don't want to spend time now, but in the during division, right? We were talking about all about the before division. In the during division, if you have a property description, a lot of us are not Shakespeare's. We write competently, but not well. You could take your property description, drop it into ChatGPT and use ChatGPT to make your property description stand out, make it more attractive. In terms of any of these prompts, whenever you're dealing with chat, a way of thinking about it is to think about it in 3 stages. I am, you are, do X. So I am a listing specialist. You are a social media expert. You are a author. You are my whatever, and then use the prompts and then build the prompts iteratively as we just did to create a better prompt. The more specific you are, the better it is. The more focused your question is, the better your result. The more you give it context, the better it is. Don't be afraid to ask it to refine your answer. I need it more specific to people who are older, people who are younger. And for some of the AI tools, you can even ask for sources, reasoning, and validation. You can use magic words. So we can go into this video script, right? It just gave us a video script. And now you can say, make it more compelling. And if that's what you want a compelling video, it's going to generate that, right? Make it friendlier, make it more professional, make it more informative, make it more conversational, whether it be for a script, whether it be for any of the tools we just talked about. You can go back into it and you can do it 3, 4, 5 times until it hits the voice you want. And then once you have that voice, by the way, one of the things you can do, you can flip around. Now that you have the voice you want, you can flip around and now you can rewrite it yourself using your own words. But now you have the skeleton all available for you. Okay, so that's the basic of AI. We talked a little bit about the before division. Let's in the during division. Have you ever had to write an apology letter? Somebody's laughing. That was a wicked laugh out there. If you have to write a apology letter, most of us are hamstrung when it comes to that. But the truth is that you can use AI to write the first draft. And, in the during division, I'm sorry, we didn't get the, we listed your house at 655. We didn't get the response we wanted. I think we should lower your asking price. And I apologize. Put that into ChatGPT and it'll do a better job than you will at writing an apology letter, especially if you go through it once or twice, it'll do that. In the during division, as I said, property descriptions, communicating with clients. There's so many uses in the during division. And in the after division, very similarly, if you're after division, if what you're trying to do is to keep communicating with your clients, right? If that's what you want to do. And if what you do in your after division is you put, if in your after division, what you do is you say, I want to write a newsletter. I want to do an email, a week, let's say a monthly email to my past customers. You can get the topics off ChatGPT. You can use any of these tools to help write it. You then clean it up, put your own words in it. And now, if you're not currently doing an email newsletter, this is an easy way of starting a communication process for your past clients. Does that make sense? Okay, so there are a bunch of other tools I just wanted to share with you. I am not an artist, but I just wanted to share with you what I did using I asked Dolly, which is one of the ChatGPT tools, OpenAI tools. And I said, give me an impressionist painting of a contemporary home overlooking the Hudson River. And it gave me 4 choices. So, you know, if you are writing an article and you want art, okay, Gina, I haven't spoken to you. Gina, you mind unmuting?
Sure.
What do you want a picture of for your next social media post?
The Hudson River.
And what kind do you want? Impressionist? What kind of art do you want it to be?
It could be impressionist. I actually have a listing overlooking the Hudson River, so I'd be interested to see what would come up.
Well, I mean, here, you know, well, tell me about the house. What does the house look like?
It's a contemporary design.
Okay.
On
So I just read your mind last night when I did this. What color is it?
It's gray cedar.
Dave, right now we're seeing your PowerPoint. You're not seeing anything else if you're trying to show us your screen.
Sorry about that. Let's try that again. You see it now?
Okay, thank you.
Sorry about that. So I'm going to generate an impressionist painting of contemporary gray cedar home overlooking the Hudson River. I don't know.
The third one to the right would be perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I will save this and tomorrow I'll be happy to send it to you.
Thank you.
Okay, so any questions?
I have a question, Dave.
Sure. Hi, Noreen.
I know that the Chat GPT and the Chat GPT 4, the difference is how many years it goes back. Like Chat GPT 4 is the most current data. What about the other AIs like Bard and the other ones that you mentioned? How current are they?
Bard is going up against the Bard is going up against the Google universe. So it's current as of whatever Google has in it. You can ask Google to validate whatever it gives you. You can go into Bard and say, you know, ask it a question. What's the median house price in Westchester County in 2023? You can go into Bard and ask that, and then ask Bard for its sources. Please provide your sources. Right now, you would have that information as a realtor, but there may be some other piece of information that you need. If it's in Google, it's there. Within the caveat that it is data is only, even Google, the internet's always right, but stuff is so. Here's the finished book, by the way. I don't know how long it is, but we've got this finished book that has that's available for the asking. I'm going to save it. And was that a lot of work, Bill? Oh, who was it who said they weren't an author and they couldn't write a book? Somebody said that. You got a book. And, so,
I think it was me.
okay. So you can take that. Now, if you use that as a way of, like instead of a book, you could use it to generate an ebook. So maybe 40 pages, a couple of thousand words, whatever. So, and then use Dolly to generate some images. And now you have an ebook that you can then offer to your clients. So if you're trying to attract people to your business and you're attracting people, let's say by one of the things that we're doing is we're looking at for parents who are buying homes. We're also looking for we're going to be looking for downsizers, mostly selling homes, but I want to be able to help my realtors. So we're going to write an ebook this coming January, February on how to downsize and the steps to downsizing. And that'll be, then you do a series of social media posts. Anyone want to get somebody who's downsizing as a potential client? Easy schmeezy. You just, write an ebook, have something to offer, post on Facebook, post on Insta, whatever your favorite posts are, share with the seniors at the senior center, have an offer out there, and now you have something going. So that's it for the presentation. I would love to share with you a couple of things about my business. I started this by telling you that we recently won. We had a competitive bid on a house in Bergen County, New Jersey. We do New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. And Florida. We ran up against a competitive bid situation and we beat a cash offer. Does that happen a lot in your market? I'm guessing not. How did we do it? Number one, we had 24-hour turnaround on the credit authorization. In this case, they needed an appraisal. Quite often, if somebody's putting down 25%, they don't need an appraisal, which means when an appraisal is not needed, the credit approval is a full approval, right? So, but we lined up all the resources so that everything was ready. We closed it in 21 days and beat the cash offer because they weren't as organized as we were. So we are delighted to do that. We have amazing product on home buyer loans. We have one lender that's at 6.75% without an income limit. Another that for someone with an $80,000 income, maybe somebody buying a starter condo or something like that, 6.125%, no points, and the bank will pay them $2,000. So we've got some amazing product out there. For anyone, we have, but from now to the end of the year, we have 5 loans to give away where we're giving the client 40 basis point improvement. So if you have a client who's taking out a $500,000 loan, that client will get a $2,000 cost savings off a very competitive rate. And I would be honored, A, to sit with you if at an open house, B, I'd be honored to take care of your next client. If anyone has enjoyed this or wants to go into greater depth, I'd be happy to do this at your office. Some of you guys have closed offices, some of you don't. If anyone wants to explore video, that's one of the next topics I'm working on. Probably after the first of the year, we're doing some work on video. So if anyone wants to get into video, I have a couple of hundred videos up now and be happy to coach you on video. And let me just put my information in the chat, and I would be honored if you've gotten value here. If you've gotten value, I would be totally honored to work with you guys. Let me post my information. Nope, that didn't work. Okay. So I just put my information in the chat. I would be honored if anyone had an opportunity. We're looking to help people with open houses. We're looking to do pre-approvals. We're looking to help your buyers. Any questions?
Thank you for sharing that information, Dave. Appreciate it.
Dave, I'm just starting. Is it as simple as going online and HTTPS ChatGPT?
It's OpenAI. It's OpenAI. I'd be happy if anyone wants. I'd be really delighted to do one-on-one with any of you guys and walk you through the first steps. This is like riding a bike. You know, you get better the more you use it. So, you know, and think about like your next challenge. If your challenge is how do I write a good Facebook post? So you come up with a topic, you come up with a topic and you take that topic and you say, okay, I'm going to, I want to write a Facebook post about seniors who need to downsize, right? And do you want to write one post? Do you want to write 10? You know, well, let's say you wanted to write a weekly post every Tuesday. Hello, Tuesday. Sandra Smith has that behind her. Every Tuesday, you want to write a Facebook post that's informative about downsizing, right? So you ask ChatGPT to come up with 12 topics. That means every week for the next 12 weeks, you'll have a topic. It gives you the 12 topics. Then you take that 12 topics and you say, okay, let's deal with the first one. Decluttering your house. And you say, okay, now write the post for decluttering your house. And then you say, okay, now I want to be able to go to the senior center and drop off a hard copy of this. So write it for seniors who might want to read it on paper. And then you do that. And now you could have a 12-week process. And then you take each post, you figure it out, you flesh it out, you go back and forth, and boom, now you have a post. You know, you can have a post, you can look, think about it. You could do a Facebook post, you could do a TikTok or an Instagram video, you could do a hard copy, something to send to your so let's say local neighborhood senior centers, doctors' offices, anywhere where they would let you put your stuff out. Then you could take you could put it into your newsletter. Now you have a newsletter, you start communicating with your past clients, and you put, let's say every month you do a newsletter and it has 4 topics. One of the topics might be taking care of your home in January, right? So you use ChatGPT to give you that content. Then the second thing may be downsizing. The third thing may be, I don't know, a recipe or whatever it is that you are passionate about. You could write a whole newsletter that way. And now you have your before unit with reaching out on Facebook and TikTok and Insta and paper and stuff like that. And then your after unit with a newsletter. And it's all, you could do that in an hour a week. Guaranteed. Any other questions?
Okay, David, thank you so much for your presentation, and we are recording this, so it should be ready for you probably this afternoon or tomorrow morning. I'll send it out to all those who registered.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Great.
Hey,
Thank
guys,
you very much.
wonderful meeting you again. Dave Steinberg. Look forward to chatting with you if there's anything I can do.
Great. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.